So lots of mums, once breastfeeding is established and latching is going well, they want to express milk, so perhaps they can start to build up a freezer stash for when they're returning to work, or they might want to someone else in their family perhaps to give the baby a bottle occasionally. If we are expressing milk, we do need to make sure that we're not leaving the breasts unstimulated for a big block of time. So that's to say, if someone's giving a bottle at 9 p.m, we don't want then your breasts to get unused for kind of 4 or 5 hours, because that could reduce milk supply. So when you are starting to express, it's worth having a chat with somebody just to make sure you're protecting your milk supply and doing all the right things. But let's imagine you've started expressing, it's going reasonably well, but you're not quite getting as much out as you might hope. First of all, don't think that necessarily is a judgment of your milk supply. It isn't connected to your milk supply, despite what some people may tell you. The process a pump uses to remove milk is very different from what a baby will do. So it might be, even if you only get 20 mils out, 30 mils out when you're pumping, the baby could be getting three times that amount when they're feeding. When you are expressing, if you really do get 10 mils, 20 mils, less than an ounce, it may well be you're not getting what we call the letdown reflex, or you're not getting the milk ejection reflex. That's when the body has a rush of oxytocin hormone that contracts the ducts and pushes the milk out, and you start to get the milk flowing. And to trick the body into doing that isn't always straightforward. We can trick the body into producing the milk ejection reflex by warming the breasts, using warm compresses, or maybe having a shower or a bath before we want to pump. Doing some breast massage, circular massage around the back of the breast and massage down towards the nipples. And then trying to relax. Sometimes using visualization techniques, or imagining your baby, or having your baby with you if that's something you can do, because if you're pumping when your baby's with you still. Something that's going to fool the body into starting to get that flow of milk. What also helps is actually using hand expression techniques, especially towards the end of a pumping session when the breasts may be getting a bit emptier. You can combine hand expression and pumping, and we know from research that tends to get a much better output. So if you haven't had much luck with hand expression yet, go to the internet, Google marmot technique. It's actually pronounced marmet, but M-A-R-M-E-T, marmot technique. Have a look at that and try and finish off with some hand expression. You may well end up getting a lot more milk out. Most women do find they get a better output earlier on in the day. We seem to have a higher volume. Most people do anyway. It also works well if you start to pump at a predictable time of the day, because then the body gets used to needing to produce more milk at that time.